Hello, Father.
Hi, hello.
Happy to be here.
Thank you.
So I bring a question about life and death.
Life and death, okay.
Yes. And it comes related to a loss of someone really beloved. And it looks like the time is this frame where it seems that the inquiry brings into the organized mind that tries to explain that everything is okay and is in the right direction, and it's like this. But somehow there is still some conditioning in this presence that doesn't understand quite clear how is this process of dying, and something in my being still is attached to the past, to something that it was not said, it was not experimented. So there is still this pain. So this pain brings attachment to the story, to the past, that the mind tries to explain and to accept that the process is like this. But there is this need of understanding how is this process of letting go, of accepting that someone really beloved go, and
It is quite okay to grieve if someone you love suddenly also, either suddenly or gradually lets go of life, or suddenly is gone. And you are suddenly in a new state of being, because so much of the relationship is not available for you. So many different feelings come. Sometimes anger comes. Sometimes people are angry with the people who have gone. How you live like this? No goodbye, nothing like that. You don't tell me. I don't get time to prepare or nothing. You just took off like that. So sometimes they're angry even with the person who has gone, or angry at life. How can you take this from me? This is why for many people who are coming to satsang, I say something that perhaps you don't hear so often. I advise them, give up your sense of rights, or the feeling, the sense of entitlement, that simply because you exist, you're entitled to all these things. You're just entitled to be happy. You're entitled to a job. You're entitled to these things. Because it breeds a lot of arrogance and pride. But more, just without this feeling of entitlement, you feel much more in harmony with life. You appreciate the things that you have already shared. Who says how much more there is to share? Nobody. Who tells you and promises you for about next week or tomorrow? Which genuine life tells you, next week you come and see me, unless it's the voice of God or something? So we don't know. And in fact, we can use experiences like this, which are so intense for us, to wake up to a deeper understanding about life. In fact, it's already helping you to see that life can be momentary. It can be, in that expression, in one life form, it can come to an abrupt end. It doesn't have to slow down and gradually disappear. It can just, some people Some people die attending other people's funerals. You don't know. I'm not saying this to panic. I'm saying this as it is. And what I feel can be taken from it is how to spend your life wisely as much as possible. No? And there's no wiser way, I know, than to wake up to the truth of who you are. Don't be planning to wake up. Make use of, because life, amazingly, has provided everything to you to help you to see. It gives clues. The great consciousness, God, the self, it gives clues to us, no? So that you can become more sensitive and intuitive to recognize those clues. And each time you find them, you become much more mature, much more sensitive, much more appreciative, much more wise to life, you know. Some people wanted the life to come and to peel your banana for you, chew it for you, and you just get to swallow, you know. No. And this is why I say, you know, God gives you bread. Don't ask for toast. You make toast. Like this. It gives you some things that you're not entitled to necessarily in the way that the mind may think, but brings a lot of things that you could be grateful for. We can all be grateful for, but we are not so grateful. Because maybe it's not the thing your mind wants. So we learn, and many things later in life we start to be grateful for them, that, you know, wow, now I'm seeing this, how fortunate my life has been. I've received so much. You see, this one has been brought into your life, you know, and to introduce you to love and to push you to be more tolerant and to be more understanding and so on. And then maybe unexpectedly they're gone. Time to reflect a little bit. You know, am I left as an incompleteness, or am I still the complete one? Am I looking for someone else to complete me, or am I the completeness itself, dreaming incompleteness? So all these things, I feel that you're in the most beautiful place, because satsang helps you to wake up to the deep truth of yourself, and you can experience all the things in life like that. I was in India in 1994 at Ramana Ashram. I suddenly had the feeling I must go back to Lucknow to sit at my master's feet. But I didn't work it out in my head. It was just a feeling. As many times, this is how I've moved, you know. And I went back to Lucknow, and for the first time in all the times in India, the life was strange. Nothing was flowing. And then one day, I went to satsang, and at the end of satsang, Master would go to a small room. He leaves the hall, go into a small room before leaving the premises, you know. I've never been there, to this room. After satsang, chalo, I'm gone. But this day I found myself at the Master's door, knocking. Pop, pop, pop. I said, oh, what am I knocking here? I don't know what I'm going to say, I don't know. But something is compelled to do. Knocking, the door opens, someone says, yes. I said, I need to see Papaji. Even the words I didn't plan. Really? Papaji? Oh, one moment. Come back, Papaji, come. I go in the room, I fell straight at his feet, you know. And I said to him, Father, whatever is going to happen, can I leave it at your feet? And he says, yes. And I sat in this room for just a few minutes, and then we left. And outside, in those days, 1993, Lucknow, India, we had no emails like we do now. It was something called fax. And there was a board And everybody who receive fax, they'll put your name on it. And I saw my name, Tony Moo Young, and oh, okay. I went, and I just felt, like I'm moving in a play that's already written, because at this, I have not planned any of this. I took this thing, I opened, it said, please, contact us immediately. It was my friend in London. I went to the phone, I knew it was something strong, because she would not send me mail like this. I opened, I rang up. In that moment, I'm prepared for any news at all, because I don't know. I have many people who I love, many people whom I know, and I was prepared. Anything is going to happen here. And then I'm told, it's Jason, my son. He says, I'm sorry, he fell away. And I was with the phone in my hand like this. Watching myself listen to it. I was totally empty. Everything became automatic. You see? And I had to come back to London, everything, and to be with my other children, and to just, everything is unfolding. It's like I'm living a script that's been written already. You see? But all satsangs had prepared me here for that moment and every moment since, until this very moment. Everything that had to be done got done in the way it should be done, without any plan. Plans came, and plans were satisfied or not. But something here was unmoved. Some pain came, tears came, all of this I watched them from the place of the isness in myself. Because somehow this identity of a person was not strong inside me anymore. Yes, of course I knew, this is my son, this is my other son, this is my daughter, these are my friends, all of these things. But it was not so intensely intimate anymore. Now you may feel, wow, I don't know if I want to feel like that. I love being intimate. But I came to discover a term inside myself which I call impersonal intimacy. It means that I know I have love for you, I feel tremendous love, but it's not tied up in any story or expectations or compromise or neediness. You see? And it's not about pride, it's not like I'm having this attitude. It is just, it came with a deeper seeing. It happened automatically. So in moments like this, you may have an intense period of shock. It's like you're skinless for a bit. And life goes on automatically. And it may take a while for you to settle down. But even in these moments, something is moving, something is taken care, something is present with you, grace is with you.
I also feel that there are some conditionings in my life, in my presence now, that come from the past, that somehow I still feel attached to him, because
Yes.
There is this lack of understanding these karmic constellations, how to accept the lost and be ready to say goodbye and thank you, because the gratitude is here.
Mm-hmm.
All my experiences brought me into here, that there is this acceptance, and the mind try to explain, but somehow I feel I've been experiencing some present conditionings that are related to this, But I also know that my experience now and here brings me this trust that everything is okay, but somehow the emotions play strongly, and
let them play. Because to suppress or to overmanage them creates trouble for later. Let them play. Your beingness has to burp all these things out, and trust it. It's okay. Don't try too much. Any technique is not needed. Too much preparation is not needed. Sometimes is it times like this that you come to discover that the universe, that life takes care of life also. Your mind says, what are you going to do now? I have to do this and do this. But somehow it all, if you are quiet, you notice, wow, I was not expecting this help, and help comes. And somehow I didn't know where to go, and I bumped into this man, and he seemed to know where I was trying to go, and he came with me, and you notice that it comes like that. And what a noticing, it's amazing. Then you feel very grateful. You say, wow, I felt so alone, and I see that when I look and I see something knows about my situation. Something invisible knows about my situation. And it has brought people who I don't know into the flow, and they're assisting it somehow. How does that happen? He knows. The one who learns to observe more will recognize this more quickly. But if you panic, you go upstairs in the attic, you're trying to control things. You feel, wow, nothing works. It's like you're fighting against yourself. But the one who listens, has become sensitive, they know that life is on your side. You are life itself, actually. And at the same time, the witnessing of life unfolding occurs to you at the same time.
And what about the things that I would like to have said and I didn't?
You can still say them right now. You can say them. Offer them into the oneness. Offer them to the self. Offer them to God. Offer them to your friend. Trust me, you can do this. Sometimes you can say the things you want to say now better than before. Some people have better conversations, more intimate contact with the people, their friends, their family, their partners, when they've gone. Sometimes you go to cemeteries, you see people sitting, talking. I'm so sorry, I went to see your auntie yesterday. You know what she said to me? She's saying to us, I tell her, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. Conversations happening at gravesides. Even people laughing, I say, I told her. Conversation happening, maybe that were not happening before. It's never too late. More and more people here, when they've spent time, they have to leave, they'll tell you, I'm leaving but not leaving. And we understand, no? What it means. Body's going somewhere else, but in my heart there's no separation from you. And we know that. It's not just some kind of, little pink fantasy or something. We live it. So I'm very happy to impart that advice and that encouragement to you. You can say the things now.
I will.
Very good.